Hello everyone, welcome to this live session on postpartum core and DR. Now, this is a really important topic as many women face this situation wherein they have a weak core after childbirth, and many of us also end up having diastasis recti. What it is, and many things related to it, how we can overcome it, how we can exercise to correct that situation session. We have with us today Dr. Aditi Singh, and she will be joining us. She's a physiotherapist. She specializes in pelvic floor, and she's also a Pilates certified teacher. And her specialties are around diastasis recti and pelvic girdle function. So she will be joining us shortly. Before that, I will give a brief introduction about her. She is the co-founder and managing partner at Revive Physical Health and Wellness Center in Bangalore. She has an overall experience of 17 years in rehab, fitness, and specifically in women's health. She has been awarded as the best women's health physiotherapist in Bangalore in the year 2021, and she's also been awarded as the best physiotherapist for her contribution to the society in the year 2019. So, all in all, we are very happy and really proud to have her with us today. I'll just be getting her in. Uh, hey, hi Vidya. I didn't say you hi.
Okay. No, that's okay. Waving was enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get Dr. Aditi. I've sent her the invite. Let's just
Yeah.
wait for a minute. Yeah, before we before Dr. Aditi joins, if you hi Dr. Aditi.
Hello, Dr. Aditi.
Hi, I'm already in.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for inviting and hosting. Thank you so much.
Same here. Same here. Thank you so much for accepting the invite and agreeing to come on this live session with us. It's a great pleasure, and we're really really happy and proud to have you with us today,
Oh,
because
thank you so much.
the
Thank you so
kind of
much.
work you have been doing is something that I think is really important. And the more people are aware about it, it is the better it is, because most of the things related in this area go unnoticed. With the number of women I have, engaged with during the course of new mother, I've seen that most of them tend to ignore issues with their pelvic floor and then end up in a severe situation wherein they do not have much physical therapy options left. So yeah, before we begin, Dr. Aditi, we would love to hear a little bit about you from you, because I just finished with your introduction before you joined, but we would still love to know a few words about you.
Okay. So see, when I was talking to Vidya, I said how my interest got into this women's health and pelvic health because of, I think, my own issues. And if I had no issues with my body post pregnancy, delivery, during pregnancy, things like that, I think I would have been doing something else in physiotherapy. So it's I think our stories, they relate to our audiences. That's what is happening when we talk about pregnancy and post pregnancy issues, because each body is different, each delivery is different, each human being is different, right? So I am a physiotherapist, a hardcore physiotherapist, practicing in the field of physiotherapy. One second. Yeah. Practicing in the field of physiotherapy for last 17, 18 years now. So I started my career as a neuro rehab specialist. So I have done my post graduation in neuro rehabilitation. So I was seeing a lot of stroke and hemiplegic and Bell's palsy cases for some time. That was before I got married and moved to Bangalore. So I happened to got married to my college friend. We were together for a long time, and with so much of struggles, we finally got married. And I moved to Bangalore, which is his hometown. I belong to Rajasthan. He's from
Okay.
Bangalore. So I moved to Bangalore, and when I moved to Bangalore, I moved to Bangalore in 2009, and when I got married, and that time physiotherapy ka scope itna acha nahi tha. I mean, people they knew physiotherapy, but still it was upcoming branch. Okay, so it was only related to low back pain, arthritis, but now it is involved into sports physiotherapy, pelvic health, women's health. And when I moved here, 2009, 2010, nobody gave me job. Okay, I was like jobless. So I joined my husband's company. He runs a sports company here. And
Okay.
then he's like, okay, you start off your own thing. So I'm like, okay, let me start off my own thing. So when I was exploring like what I want to do when I start my own thing, which should be slightly different from each any other physiotherapy center which is there in hospital or in clinical setup, I was too much influenced by Pilates, being into fitness into myself. I like to be fit, generally. So I moved, then I went to Canada, did my Pilates, and there where everything changed for me. So the concept of core muscle was only limited to me before then, that if core muscles are the belly muscles. Okay, so we what to do when we speak about the core muscles, do a lot of abdominals, lot of crunches, then only you'll get that flat tummy, flat ab. When I went to do Pilates, that time I understood, oh, okay, core is not just the ab, it's so much more. And the concept of pelvic floor actually evolved for me right from there. Came back, started my own setup here, and then I started Pilates for pregnant ladies because the community where I was in, people were inquiring about it. And then I saw beautiful results and I did more courses, certification, pre-postnatal fitness instructor course. And then it happened that I became pregnant. And then my pregnancy was very nice, beautiful, nothing like, very nice. Post pregnancy, I had some issues which no doctor could identify, and they said, it's okay, it will be fine. You will be fine in few days. And then I think I was fine in few days because of I knew like somehow I knew that something is wrong with my maybe low back or my pelvic girdle. And being a physio, I could address to myself. I had people who could give me treatment in my own clinic. I did exercise. My husband, being a sports physio, he took care of me. But what happened is second pregnancy, May it happened that I had severe pelvic girdle dysfunction. My diastasis recti was too much during my pregnancy itself. I could feel that something is wrong with my pelvic floor. And post delivery, all the issues started with me. The pubic bone pain was so much, my gynecologist just said, I can't do anything. You are a physio, you figure it out what to do. She didn't know where to send it to me. The irony of the situation is like they really want to help at times, but they don't know what kind of help, where to send this person who's needing this kind of thing. We don't know. And I had to figure it out by myself. So yes, so then I had to then work on myself a lot and then understood what happened. And then I had luckily my seniors, my own people who are working in US and Australia who could connect to me, who could connect somebody there who was able to help me to solve my overactive pelvic floor issues. So my overactive pelvic floor is overactive means tight pelvic floor. When you have the pelvic floor muscle which is little tighter, it is overactive or tight pelvic floor muscle. Yes, and these issues started actually way before I could conceive. So 2 years I could conceive, I had fibroids. I had ovarian cyst, I had endometriosis. So that is a different story altogether. And throughout my school, college, before marriage, after marriage, I suffered with severe painful periods. And nobody could diagnose why I had painful periods, being my father is a doctor. He said, "ठीक है, painkiller ले लो." I remember I used to be on drips. Post my marriage, my husband used to take me to the nearby hospital, Sagar Hospital, for the painkiller. It used to be like so bad, even whole day he would take me. So and then I'm like, this is not done. This is and then doctors told me, शादी के बाद ठीक हो जाएगा. शादी के बाद भी ठीक नहीं हुआ. The painful periods were still going on, as if there was something wrong within my vagina that शादी के बाद ठीक हो जाएगा. Okay, means you need to be sexually active so that these things can be sorted. So the notion is that if you are sexually active, there shouldn't be any problem with you, because you are there is like your vagina is nicely lubricated and nicely working there, but no issue got sorted for me. Then one doctor told me baby के बाद ठीक हो जाएगा. लेकिन baby होते होते they came to know that I have some severe problem which is known as endometriosis, which is causing that. And then I came to know that I had fibroids because they did some 3D scan and all. And then I had to undergo surgery for that. That was
Okay.
open surgery. So there were 5 fibroids over my uterus with endometriosis, with ovarian cyst, and they cleared it off. And I was lucky, fortunate enough, God's blessing, that I could conceive naturally after that. Because this is one of the reasons of infertility in women.
Hmm.
So it's about like painful periods जो हमारे हमको बोल देते हैं कि हाँ painful होता है. So I keep telling नहीं यार थोड़ा बहुत painful होता है. थोड़े बहुत cramps आते हैं, थोड़ा बहुत low back pain होता है. But it should not be like painful कि आपको बेहोश हो रहे हो या आपको hospital लेके जाना पड़ रहा है या आपको drips लग रही हैं. Then watch out. Watch out. There has to be something wrong. And then I think no, we were not educated enough or literate enough in this field to make it out. Until one fine day, I couldn't walk, and then my in-laws, they took me to the scanning center, and they are like, "Okay, something is really wrong with this girl."
Hmm.
So, and my issues actually started from there, which carried on throughout my first pregnancy, second pregnancy, delivery, and then finally I'm at a stage that I feel, oh my God, अब क्या बाकी है होना? So my only agenda of moving into this women's health completely now and उससे भी deeper pelvic floor के that subject, just to bring an awareness that your issues are not normal. They are common. They are common because we are built of the same bones, hormones, same uterus, similar fallopian tubes. So they can have issues. Hormonal issues हो सकते हैं. हम 3 लोग बैठे हैं, हमारे तीनों के अलग issues हैं. Yeah, but we can't say okay तेरा normal है, तेरा ज़्यादा है या मेरा कम है. It's like that. So it's not like that किसका ज़्यादा है, किसका कम है और what all. So this is where I am right now, and because I am working a lot, so as you said, I have received some awards from my community, which I really feel proud of myself. And I keep talking about these issues to gynecologists. In fact, today I was with the gynecologist who is heading Apollo Credit in Bangalore, and I was with him and I was making him understand that these things are not normal. Postpartum is issues are not normal. So he was just listening to me and he's like, Dr. Aditi, we did our gynecology study, I don't know how many years ago. And now so many things are coming up, new researches are happening, and we need people who can talk about it. So I was like so impressed with him that he was just listening to me, and he's like, okay, we'll see what Apollo can do on these issues. So it's a good thing that at least they are addressing to these issues now. Otherwise, gynecologists are only limited to, okay, you are fine after delivery, your baby is fine after delivery. Okay, fine, my job is done. But उसके अलावा क्या? I mean, you have only 9 months to like 38 weeks to 44 weeks of pregnancy. But postpartum तो वो चलता ही रहता है ना. It is never ending postnatal. So once you are postnatal, you are always postnatal. I mean, it will be just going on and on and on, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't think that I will be just talking so much about myself only.
No, that's nice actually. It was really interesting, and we got to know so many things, that why exactly you're completely passionate about the things that you're doing. And there were so many points which you spoke, which I'm sure will help people out there, say for example, if somebody is having really painful periods, that person will get to know it's not normal. It may be common, it's not normal. That's a very clear distinct distinction that you made. And then you spoke about how gynecology has advanced in today's day, and the doctors are actually willing. That was one very positive note that you mentioned, which I felt really good about, knowing that doctors are ready to listen. They're open minded, and they're accepting things with open hands, and saying that yeah, there are some things that have changed, and let us work and see how we can fit into it, because the end goal is to have good health for the woman who is coming in, who's walking through those doors, so that she is really healthy and happy in continuing her life during the postpartum period. And as you said, postnatal is never ending. So it was really, really, really helpful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Dr. Aditi. It was really nice. So I will start off with the first question. Vidya, do you want to start?
No.
Okay.
That's okay.
So yeah, so we spoke so much about core muscles, okay, but then I'm very sure that majority of us, okay, majority of women out there are still not really aware about what exactly is core.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
I
true. Yeah.
I cannot tell like how much percentage, but I can say that it's definitely above 90% of us are not aware of what is core. So my first question is, how are the core muscles of a woman impacted by childbirth and pregnancy? It's basic, but I think it's good to have a starting from there.
See, this is basic, and everything is revolving around that basic. And this basic is not known to most of us. People who get delivered, they are not knowing about it. People who are there, healthcare professionals are not specifically gynecologists and obstetricians, they are actually not very much aware about what core muscles are, other than just the belly muscles. Yeah. So it's a very good point here to first understand it's a very basic thing. And all of us, as a woman, I think all of us, we should know it's not completely about if you want to get pregnant or not, irrespective of that. These muscles will not change, these muscles will be there. Pregnancy nahi to something else will cause the damage to them. Pregnancy, childbirth is one thing, but there are many other things which causes damage to our core, and we should be able to understand that. So see, core is like very similar to this bottle. Core, इसको बोलते हैं core canister. Yeah. So the top part of the core is made by your diaphragm. The bottom part of the core is made by the pelvic floor muscle. And ये जो circumference है, the cylindrical part is your inner abdominal muscle, जिसको बोलते हैं transversus abdominis. It's very technical हो गया. इसको हम short form में बोलते हैं TA, transversus abdominis muscle. ठीक है. So once again, I'll just get my pelvis. I forgot to keep the pelvis near me. So this is the pelvis, this is your pelvis, right? So this is your uterus, fallopian tube, this is your bladder inside. तो ये pelvis का हिस्सा है. Pelvis के जो नीचे वाला हिस्सा है, this is your pelvic floor. Men also has pelvic floor. So जो core musculature है, वो man और woman में same है. Just that woman has one more added sphincter here, which is vagina, which is not there in men. That's why they don't have so many issues like we have. That is one basic thing in core. And because this structure is there in us, it makes our pelvic floor muscle more tighter. So I will again add it here that our pelvic floor muscle is not loose after vaginal delivery. It doesn't become lax after vaginal delivery. It doesn't become lax after so many pregnancies or after maybe having so many intercourses. It also becomes tight. So there are different layers to this pelvic floor muscles. There are 3 layers of pelvic floor muscle, and depending on किस पे क्या strain पड़ रहा है, some fibers might undergo weakness, some fiber might undergo tightness. So it's very difficult to say that your core, your pelvic floor muscle is weak or tight until we assess it, until we evaluate it, until you have the symptoms which might relate क्योंकि your pelvic floor muscles are tighter or loose. Obviously, during menopause, many women they feel that vaginal looseness because of the hormones which are not there now. Estrogen, which supports, which causes, which gives the strength to the pelvic floor muscle. Estrogen is not there, the muscles will start becoming looser and lax, and they will feel that, oh, I'm feeling very loose down there. It's a different thing. So this is one part, your pelvic floor. So I'll just stand and I'll just show you. So this is your pelvis here. This is the pelvic floor, and here is the diaphragm.
Okay.
And surrounding here is your inner abdominal muscle. So when baby is growing not only in the pelvis, where your uterus is. Baby grows up higher till the diaphragm. Yes? So when you are in your third trimester, you feel that baby is pushing up, I'm not able to breathe. You are breathless, you are not able to walk and talk, you're not able to do so many things because you are feeling that I'm not able to breathe properly. And deep breathing is actually next to impossible because diaphragm can't contract. Now diaphragm is the muscle which needs to contract. So this is your diaphragm. When it contracts, it should go down. So it goes down. So diaphragmatic contractions, when I want to inhale, diaphragm should contract, and when diaphragm contracts, it actually goes down, it descends down into the abdominal cavity a little bit. उस समय अगर आपके abdominal muscles are not relaxed, abdominal excursion will not happen. So when baby is there, abdominal muscles are overstretched. So it's over. So there are pressure from everywhere, and the baby is inside here with the, we see here with the pelvis, right? Yeah, so baby is pushing pressure outward, side mein and up, and baby is also pushing pressure down into your pelvic floor muscle. Yes. Now, what happens to pelvic floor muscle actually? This is your pelvic floor muscle. This is the uterus, which has no baby right now inside. Yeah. But when the baby is growing, pressure is changing here. Now, the strength of the pelvic floor is not changing with the pressure of the baby's weight and the amniotic fluid around. It's a lot of weight, right? And your pelvic floor muscle is holding it nicely. It is not giving away. Who had labor like normal vaginal delivery? You or Vidya? Who had
Both are
vaginal delivery? So you know that one fine day when the water breaks or you are into your labor, baby is not around say coming out, no? It's not very easy. Yeah. So your labor is
that the
difficult.
baby is coming out easily.
Sorry?
It would have been nice if it would come out easily.
Yeah, because these muscles, they don't want to let go of the baby. They just can't let go. So your vaginal opening is there, cervix is open, but it takes time for the baby to come out. Means these muscles are very strong and very powerful muscles. So they are holding and they are actually working round the clock against gravity when you're standing, walking, when you are maybe doing some exercise. These muscles are still holding the weight of that growing uterus throughout. Yeah. And labor is not easy because these muscles have to really work hard. Your uterus has to work hard. Uterine contractions have to work hard. That's a whole different story altogether. So my point is that these muscles, they will not let go. So when they are not letting go, they are holding up, they are undergoing a lot of spasm. So during pregnancy, your pelvic floor muscles are always under spasm. They are working round the clock against gravity. So gravity wants to pull it down because of the weight, but these muscles are up. And have you seen you must be knowing a hammock, right? Jhula, the hammock, sling. Yeah. So if you are sitting, it will slightly go down. If you're sitting with your baby, it will more go down. If you're sitting with your baby and your husband on top of that, it will more go down. Yeah. But these muscles, they have a limit to go down. So they lengthen to some percentage. Some books they say 2.5 centimeters, some say 3 centimeters. That is, it's okay. We are not on that time, like not that unit, kitna hota hai, but there is some lengthening. So these muscles, they lengthen. So they stretch out and then they are holding. So means they are becoming weaker and they are holding up, they are becoming tighter. So if you see all the core muscles, the major core muscles of the body, diaphragm is not able to work properly because of the baby is pushing into the diaphragm. Abdominal muscles are not able to work properly because they are overstretched. Yeah. And then there is something known as diastasis recti, which also happens during the same time of pregnancy where the separation happens. Your six-pack ab muscle, it separates from the midline. And it is there for 100% of pregnancy. जो भी प्रेग्नेंट हुआ है थर्ड ट्राइमेस्टर तक पहुंचा है उसको DR होगा. But some bodies have more collagen, some bodies have more strength, some bodies are, genetically they are much more toned up than the others. So some people, they will heal faster or they will close their gap. हो जाएगा. But some नहीं होता. So 60 to 70% नहीं होता है, 30 to 40% होता है. So 60 to 70% is a great number where women have this DR in front. So this is what happens to the core during pregnancy in nutshell. Yeah? So these muscles are working against the growth of the baby. They have to work and they want to support the body. So our body is very amazing. It always wants to support us. It's just that we don't want to support our body many times.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. So pelvic floor muscles becomes tighter, becomes lengthened. Abdominal muscles are overstretched, but they are also under spasm because they are separating. A lot of spasm builds up there. Diaphragm is not able to work properly because of the baby. So once the baby is out, there is some space, a lot of space for the movement. The diaphragm can work again. Belly muscles they go in. Yeah. Pelvic floor muscles, can shift up. But how much? It's again vary. For many people, they are not breathing properly during their pregnancy. Their breathing pattern remains the same post pregnancy. और breathing dysfunction की वजह से भी pelvic floor dysfunction हो जाता है. Because they are not able to breathe properly. So pelvic floor muscle. So diaphragm is like that. Your pelvic floor muscle is like that. So when you are inhaling, diaphragm goes down. Pelvic floor muscle lengthens. And the belly should bulge out. When you exhale, diaphragm comes back to its normal state, pelvic floor slightly contracts up, and your belly muscles will go down. Yeah? So this diaphragm, when you are inhaling, it's a normal biomechanics of human body. It happens with men and women both. So when diaphragm is contracting, pelvic floor lengthens out. That is happening to maintain this intra-abdominal pressure. तो हमारा जो इंट्रा-abdominal pressure जो है ना वो maintain करने के लिए this is happening. If that is not happening, then your diaphragm will contract. If pelvic floor is not moving, then how the intra-abdominal pressure will remain same? It won't remain same. If belly muscles are not expanding, you are tucked in for some reason. So means diaphragm will not be able to contract properly. Diaphragm is not contracting properly, again your breathing mechanism is not proper. Breathing mechanism is not proper, it impacts your pelvic floor muscle. So all these layers of muscles are very much related. So once you deliver the child, now is the chance that you can do some, modifications.
Yeah, so basically, as you mentioned, Dr. Aditi, that every woman who is pregnant and successfully makes it to her third trimester will have the separation of the abdominal muscles, and she will be having that condition is called diastasis recti, so it's DR. And from that, after delivery, after the birth of her baby, 30 to 40% women may be able to heal it up due to their genetics and their body makeup. Okay, however their body is genetically made. Now there is a huge number of women, that is 60 to 70%, and that's like a huge number. Okay, so those women will not be able to heal naturally, and that is a fact. And those are also, as per the statistics, also 60% of women continue having DR after their, long after their childbirth.
Yeah.
Now we know this, okay, and we also know for a fact that this particular situation, this condition can be fixed using physiotherapy, right? Like you are in agreement with me on that. Now my question is, there are chances that it may not heal completely, first thing. Second, every woman's body behaves differently, so everyone will have a different timeline of healing. Maybe some women may recover within 2 to 3 months. Some may even take 2 to 3 years. Can you please share your experience and your opinion on these two questions that I asked you? First is, are there chances that it cannot heal completely first, and your opinion on the timeline of healing?
Okay, so it can be healed completely. It can be healed completely irrespective of when you are starting the treatment.
Okay.
Means if you are going for a postnatal physiotherapy evaluation, which we actually do when you are 6 to 8 weeks postpartum, means 1.5 months to 2 months ke beech mein we do that. In that we check how is your pelvic floor, how is your health of your abdominal wall. Abdominal wall mein hi, assessment mein hi, it comes your diastasis recti. So that we check. So somebody is coming during that time and we are checking and we say, okay, it's still gap is there. And we teach them basic, very simple exercises, because 2 months the lady will not commit for any kind of exercise program because she's still busy. Yeah. Moreover, abdominal wall muscles take minimum 8 to 10 months to heal completely.
8 to 10.
We don't want to again wait for 8 to 10 months to check again. If you have a little bit chances that, okay, you might have DR, and it can be measured in different ways. So we check how much is the distance between the two borders of the muscle which got separated. Also, what is the depth of the separation? Depth means we check if any muscle is there down or no. In the sense, if any muscle which is deeper muscle are contracting also or no, or everything is gone with that. In the sense, everything is become so weak that there is no muscle contraction. We also check how is the muscle tone on movement when the lady is moving, when maybe the lady is holding her child, when the lady is maybe doing some squats, how her abdominal wall muscles are behaving, because there is no point of checking if it's not functional. Yeah,
Right.
you should be able to move around with that, whatever problem you have, in a whatever way. So we need to check how you are doing your things. So that is functional assessment of that. Yes. So it is done, if it's done between 6 to 8 weeks postpartum, 3 months postnatal, 4 months postnatal, the sooner the better. You have more results. But yes, everybody is different. We need to see how they are made, how they have, collagen. Many people they have, if you have also noticed, many women they have very less stretch marks. Many women they have a lot of stretch marks. So that defines their collagen. You know how good or bad collagen is. Now collagen is nothing but it binds. It binds the muscle. More collagen strength means your muscles are more toned and muscles are more stronger. Less collagen means you are like this, loose. So when you are loose here, collagen is not there, then the chances are the skin wrinkles are more, stretch marks are more. Yeah, that's why in cosmetic industry also collagen is prescribed just because of the wrinkles of the skin. So
Okay.
it defines that. So we check all that, and then the timeline when we talk about, very difficult to say. It's very difficult to say. So minimum 3 months you should commit yourself to do this program exercises. Many ladies, they show the result in 5 to 10 sessions where they feel that they are feeling much more stronger at their core. Maybe the low back pain which they had earlier, it's not there. Maybe the posture is becoming much more better, because if you have now diastasis recti, the problems are you are not feeling strong at the core. You feel loose down there. That is the one thing. Many women they say I'm loose. I don't know what to do. So they don't say that my tummy muscles are more. They say I'm feeling loose down there. So means they have actually very less strength in the pelvic floor also then. They also have problems with their posture, because this is the main muscle of your abdominal wall. This is there to support the posture. In muscles, only one work is not there to move. These they muscle they support the posture. These muscles they support our viscera, our internal organs. So the benefits which they are getting of the exercise program is not only to heal the gap, it also to improve their posture, reduce their back pain, to reduce the pelvic heaviness, to feel themselves that they are much more toner and much more taller now because their posture is improving. And also very important, many of these women they have a lot of constipation issues or over bloating issues. Yeah,
Okay.
because of fascia of our abdominal wall muscles and the pelvic floor muscles, inner fascia is attached to our visceral organs like small intestine and the large intestine. It's all very too much connected. And suddenly they say, I'm burping very less. My bloating is decreasing. The back passage is much more behaving better. Otherwise, I was just farting here and there everywhere. I didn't know how to control it. So these are the so once diastasis recti is there, there could be many implications to the because it's not healed. And these we see 6 months postnatal or 6 years postnatal or 16-year postnatal. And to tell you to that, I have one lady who is 72 years old, and she started my program now 2 months ago because she now feels that she's been doing exercise for her last 35 years of her life. She's been into exercise. And she's like, nobody told me I have this. And then recently, one of the other physio, she was discussing some other issue and they came to know, and then they referred the case to me. And then she's like, Dr. Aditi, I kept telling to my all fitness instructors that I have some issue here. They always said, no, 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 no issue, no issue, no issue. They didn't know. They don't know. They're not studying. And now she is coming and she's like, I'm going to Spain in the month of September. Can you do something about my belly? 72 years old lady.
Yeah.
Who's just coming for diastasis recti and she has no other issue.
That's a lovely and positive example. I guess we all have something to learn from her. It's never too late if you feel that you have diastasis recti. So the right thing to do is to consult a physio, because nobody else is going to help you with that. You need to consult a physio. and you have to get yourself fixed. Most of the women I have spoken, throughout this, my journey of new mother, I've spoken to, I don't know, maybe like really thousands of women. Actually, I have spoken to thousands of women, and everyone is just worried about, reducing their stomach. Nobody is ready to think why your stomach is out. There's something. Think, first understand your body. That's what I say, everyone, that, core is more important. You need to strengthen your core, not focus on some crash diet to lose, weight. Your belly will still keep hanging if your core is not proper, if you have not resolved your DR. So it's really important. This is like a message to everyone, and sincerely, I really feel that, Dr. Aditi here is doing a great work. She explained everything so well in this session. And really, think about it seriously. You really need to fix your body from inside. You need to heal from inside. Like, it's
Yes,
not
yes.
just about having a flat stomach.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah,
post-pregnancy healing has to happen from inside out. It's not
exactly.
about
Yeah.
the core, it's about your mental well-being also. If under say you are not happy, how will you give happiness to your newborn? You know? So if under say your core is not strong, how it will support your body, how it will support your posture, it will not do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Very
yeah,
true.
really, yeah, it's something great that you said, Dr. Aditi. Thank you for that. We are almost at the end of our questions. We are end of the session as well. We have one last question for you. Vidya, do you want to take it up?
You can. You can.
Okay, she's having some kind of throat infection. Okay, I'll take up the question. So this one we are shifting actually. We spoke so much about everything related to physio. Now, before even asking that question to you directly, I just want to clear a few things. Belly binding is the hot topic. It is a hot topic, okay? If you go to Google Trends and you search for belly binding, that is the most, leave belly binding actually. If you look for a belly belt or tummy tucker or something like that, that is the most searched for postpartum word. And it is sad actually. It's really
Yeah.
sad, because postpartum is a time when you should not really be thinking about pushing back your stomach. Rather, you should be focusing on so many other things. But then still, women are crazily looking out for a belly binder. I wanted to bring up this question in this session so that we can get your point of view. So first of all, belly binding, the practice, it's an ancient practice and it was not introduced to flatten your stomach. It had a different purpose, like the way it was done and the way, we'll come to the way, but then the main purpose was to give support to your back and to make the woman feel kind of hugged in a cozy way. Nowadays people are just taking those velcro things and they are putting in full strength and just trying to push everything inside and tie themselves up. So that is now not how it was done, how that ritual started. So it was done there was a wrap which was tied by another woman very lovingly, very nicely from the hips up till the just till the diaphragm. So covering that entire core. It's not tummy, because tummy is a very small part of your core. It was supposed to cover that entire core, and it was mainly used for support and more of kind of making that woman feel comfortable, so that everything is hanging. Your uterus is still huge after you deliver the baby, all your muscles are loose, like everything is hanging around. So that was the purpose. And nowadays that has somehow been lost. But then Dr. Aditi, this question is for you. I think I had the question written that if it is done properly, do you think it can help DR by holding the muscles together? That can speed up closure. But I'm changing my question. I just want to know your opinion. I don't have anything in particular to ask you whether binding the belly will help in DR or not. What is your opinion if it is done correctly? Obviously, we are not asking people to buy those Velcro products from Amazon and wrap up their tummies. In fact, that was the one even I bought. Fortunately, I didn't go ahead and do it because I was stuck and caught up with so many other issues. But then yeah, and everyone advised me for it, that's out of my own personal experience. Everyone, like my sister-in-law, see, now the people who are advising other women, they actually want good for that woman. They're thinking
Yeah.
that, because that is the kind of knowledge they have, that's the kind of belief they have, that's something that we need to change. So, what is your opinion about belly binding? If it is done in the right way, like, starting from the hip till the diaphragm, and like, it is not done just to, like, squash that woman's internal organs, but it is done with the intention of providing support to her back and, like, her entire core.
Yeah. So it's actually very hot topic. The way that you said completely is like hot topic. And now also people keep asking me, okay, we'll buy this product. Will it reduce the belly? So see, ancient times the purpose was completely different. Okay, they wanted to support the baby, the mother, sorry, not the baby. They wanted to support the mother. It used to be a joint family kind of a system where they want to just give mothers complete support. Somebody else will cook, somebody else will take care of the older kids, things like that. But now the situation has completely changed. Now you are the only one person who's managing everything. That is one thing. So tying anything over the belly and not resting and doing n number of things that I have tied it, let me take care of everything, cooking, taking care of the older one or the younger one, breastfeeding. So it doesn't work like that. Yeah. And if it is tied, so the timeline of when it will help just to support the posture is from 0 to 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
The 25, 30 days when the body is completely in the state of healing. Again, that thing is not to push the belly inside or to, ये भी एक अजीब सा नोशन है कि टाई करने से मसल स्ट्रेंथन होगा. मसल नहीं होगा स्ट्रेंथन. You cannot strengthen a muscle by tying the muscle. The muscle has to work upon it. Now, a lot of overstretching which has happened of these belly muscles during pregnancy, it has lost a lot of collagen, a lot of strength of its own. And until it will build up its own strength, it won't be able to support the posture, it won't be able to support the breathing mechanism, it won't be able to heal the diastasis recti. So the only solution to heal the gap in DR or the depth of DR or the issues related to diastasis recti is to strengthen these muscles, to have the good collagen which was already there before pregnancy, which was lost during pregnancy, not completely lost, it became loose. Everything in the body, all the joints in the body, the laxity is happening because the body is preparing for pregnancy, right? Now, this has to be come back with loading. So you need to load, and उस loading को बोलते हैं progressive loading, to bring back your collagen back to what it was, and maybe you can go from there. You can just strength. You can be much more stronger. So many women, they tell me they feel much more stronger after doing whatever exercises we do. Before their pregnancy only they were not that strong, but now we are working on the body in a very correct manner. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So belly banding will not help to heal DR. In my opinion, I don't like belly banding because the way it is done nowadays, it is just you said, like, Western companies, they are selling their product. Yeah, this topic is hot because these companies, they want to sell their product to countries like us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now it's
Actually,
everything is.
Dr. Aditi, it's not only in India, I have spoken to women, like, across the world, not every part of the world, US, UK, Australia, and, it's surprising that it is most widely practiced in Australia.
Oh wow! I didn't know that. Good to know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, because I
Wow.
have been, like, it's been almost 1.5 years. New Mother is up and running, and that's the time, if, like, there was a very old post that I had created on belly binding, and that was the time when I had done some research on it, and I had spoken to different women and different people. It's widely practiced in Australia, so I can tell that, like, yeah, out of my own experience. And yeah, it is also, like, kind of being promoted in US. There have been many like, pop-ups or small companies who have been coming up with, not the kind of belly bind that we have in India over Amazon, Okay, and yeah, those belly binding, they have different techniques. That's why I was like, I wanted to, I said you that, the way it was done earlier, starting from the hip. I can't show it because I don't have that figure. As you said, okay, this is the diastasis and this is the
One
pelvic.
thing here also, yeah, I want to add one thing here. See, when I started about talking about core, I was saying that these muscles need to relax and these muscles need to contract back. All our muscles need to do that. So if I'm picking this water bottle, my hand muscle should be able to contract and relax. If I'm eating food, same thing. So same thing is with the core muscles. Now, exactly what happens if you are tying something from here, postpartum till here? How would be the breathing of that lady? Yeah. So the breathings, first and foremost thing which will get impacted is the breathing because you are covering from diaphragm to down. Now, diaphragm, for diaphragmatic contractions to take place properly, belly bulge is very crucial. If your belly muscles are not relaxed, your diaphragm will not be able to contract properly. And then the breathing will become more thoracic breathing, like more
Right, right.
shallow breathing. So the lady will be breathing on her apical lobes, on the upper lobes of the lungs, and the air will not go to the lower lobes and the posterior lobes. And then what will happen? Those airbags will be underutilized. That is one thing, and it will reduce the oxygenation in the whole body as such. Second thing, if the belly is not breathing properly, I mean, the belly is not working properly when you are want to, what will happen to the pelvic floor muscle? It will not, it will not work. So the movement जो ऐसे होता है, this is the movement when you breathe. Inhale, exhale, inhale. This movement is not there. So when this movement is not there, pelvic floor muscle may support some or the other issue will be there, not during that time, maybe when the lady is 40, 45 during her menopause time. Now, why it will happen? Now, pelvic floor issues are, again, I am repeating, are not because of always weak pelvic floor. They are also, majority of pelvic floor issues are because of the tight pelvic floor. Now, ये pelvic floor है, belly binding आपने कर दिया 3 महीने, 6 महीने, 1 महीना, whatever, and you're doing it religiously. What you're doing? You are compromising on the work of the core, first and foremost thing. Second thing, when you are compromising
Compromising on
the work of the core muscles, the way they work, you're compromising their work, core muscle work, because they need to, and we are talking about right now only diaphragm, inner core, and the pelvic floor. There are other.
I just have to tell you this thing. I started the session at 6:20, so we actually have only 9 minutes. The session will get disconnected after that. Like Instagram has just 1 hour session. Actually, we are at such an interesting part of the topic. Can please continue?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when breathing is not happening properly, your pelvic floor muscles will not work. Now, जो muscle अगर काम नहीं करता है अच्छे से, वो क्या हो जाता है? वो टाइट हो जाता है, उसमें स्पाज्म हो जाता है और वो वीक हो जाता है. ठीक है? Let me explain it to you a very simple thing. If belly binding has, so it's like everything is tugged. Yeah. So you are tugged. Your posture, everything is so fixed. You are fixed in one position. जो belly binder चाहता है आपकी position में. Okay, and then you are doing it maybe for 3 months, 6 months. Just imagine I am using a dumbbell. So I don't have a dumbbell right now. I'm using a dumbbell. 10 kgs or maybe 5 kgs ka dumbbell. I'm just walking like this. What will happen to these muscles? Throughout, I'm just holding the dumbbell and walking for 1 month, 2 months, whatever. What will happen to these muscles?
Can't imagine.
Yeah, so these muscles will become so stiff, these muscles will become tight, these muscles will not have the flexibility to do the normal thing. So same thing happens to the pelvic floor muscles if we just tie them like that. Similar thing will happen to your abdominal muscles, similar thing happens to your diaphragm. Because these all muscles that need to work in synchronization. And when we talk about pelvic floor dysfunction, it is the dysfunction of the pelvic floor muscle, जहाँ पर these muscles are not working in coordination with the diaphragm and the abdominal muscles. It is not a problem.
Yeah. Actually, we're short of time. I'm so sorry. I would have loved to continue this. Maybe we can have another session just to talk about this. But before we end this session, I have one last question to you. Today itself, I had one of, somebody just messaged to me saying that her gynecologist, she had a C-section, I guess, yeah, and her gynecologist asked her to bite her belly starting from the fourth day onwards. Now, no, I'm not talking about one particular case. My question is like, overall. It is a fact, as you said, like, we even today we do not have the right and complete knowledge, and no, there's no one center, like, something that everyone will agree to, right? Because there have been so many different experts, so many different people, so many, like, everyone is talking something else. It's really confusing. Trust me, it's really confusing. We have been working with postpartum women, and it's so confusing. And why do you think that thing exists? Because there are people who are advising something, there are some other people who are saying something else. I'm not even talking about the elders at home. I'm not even going to that, okay? Because that will be a completely different kind of thing. I'm talking about people who are working in women's health, say, like, during labor, birth, and postpartum.
Excuse me. See, what I can only say about the gynecologist, excuse me.
No, I'm not
They,
even asking, like, I just used it as an
yeah.
example. Like,
So
I just
I'm
wanted
just
to
taking
talk.
an
Yeah.
example of the medical professional. Medical professionals, they know their job. Their job is to deliver the baby. But they have not studied the functions of that muscle in terms of how they work. Exercise physiology and biomechanics are two major areas where we as physios we work in for each and every muscle. And we I can't deliver a child. I'm not a gynecologist. So, but I can take care of that pregnant and postnatal body in a way that body can be pain free, functional to the optimal level, and should be stress free. That is my job. I can do that. Yes. So it's like I think what they know, what they understand, they do that, but it is not under the scope of their studies which they have done. Similarly, it's not under the scope of my studies to write a medication to anyone.
Yeah, now I have one more question for you. Okay, this is something that I completely agree with. I am talking on Vidya's behalf, even she completely agrees to this, because this is something we both have been discussing from a very long time. That why, like, yeah, this is the thing. Okay, this is the thing. But okay, that apart, what do you think, Dr. Aditi? This question is for you, and I really want your personal opinion in this. What do you think is the solution? Because see, now assume that I am pregnant, I'm about to deliver a baby. Pregnancy and labor and childbirth is still, like, very much taken care of. There are so many people, and like, kind of like, almost everyone agrees to it. Okay, pregnancy, yeah, everyone goes to a gynecologist. That is the person who is going to take care of you. So everyone is on the same line. There are myths, yeah, but then, when it comes to like treatments or like, all the different things, that is completely standardized. Postpartum is one area which is not standardized. Okay. Now, in your personal opinion, because you have been working with women from past 17 years, okay, so in your personal opinion, what do you think should be the solution? I'm not asking whether it is feasible, like whether it can be implemented, it's imaginary, but I want to know from you what is the solution so that the woman gets a proper, like, proper postpartum care. Because see, I look up to my doctor. Whatever my doctor says, I believe it. I agree to it because that's what I am supposed to do and that's the right thing to do. But if something is going wrong in that communication and, like, I end up, say, like, doing something which I should not be doing, I'm not blaming the doctor. Maybe that's out of, the scope of their study or something. Completely fine. What is the solution in your opinion? And it does not have to be practical. Yeah.
See, the solution, which is actually not practical right now, to have one postnatal physiotherapist, one pelvic floor physiotherapist in all the maternity centers. Just तरह से अभी Lamaze classes and prenatal yoga and prenatal Pilates, everybody knows about it. I think in Bangalore, I think Vidya will be knowing. In Bangalore, we have so many maternity hospitals, Cloud9, Cradle, Motherhood. They all talk about lactation, breastfeeding, couple counseling, couple exercise program, Lamaze, it's there. But there is nothing which is known as postnatal physio consultation. किसी hospital में नहीं. And
One more thing
it
can
is,
I
it
add
is,
to that point? yeah, do you think like, along with postnatal physio consultation and pelvic floor consultation, do you also think that postnatal mental health consultation is required for both the mother and the father?
Coming to that, yeah. So, and this postnatal physiotherapy, as a physiotherapist, I see so many women, they are going through some mental turmoil, emotional turmoil, which I can sit with them and talk, but I am, again, it's not under the scope of my thing. So, I have to then refer this case to somebody somewhere practicing in Bangalore, okay? So there has to be a solution where with the gynecologist, infertility expert, pelvic fertility endoscopic surgeons जो होते हैं उनके साथ साथ with your Lamaze class, with your prenatal yoga, with your couple hugging classes, it is so important to have at least postpartum some professionals, counselors. At least they should sit few weeks, few days in a week. रोज भी नहीं आप अफोर्ड कर सकते हो तो एटलीस्ट वंस अ वीक और ट्वाइस अ वीक उनका कंसल्टेशन होना चाहिए एंड दैट वुड बी टोल्ड टू देम बाय द एड्रेसिंग डॉक्टर. हमें जो डॉक्टर, अगर मैं आपके पास गायनोकोलॉजिस्ट, आप गायनेको में आपके पास आ रही हूँ, तो यू शुड बी एबल टू टेल मी that we have these experts who will attend to you. What is happening now? I am working in Apollo Cradle, but there is hardly any support from the doctors because the doctors, they say once the delivery is done, that is not our case.
Actually, without collaboration, it's very difficult to
Yeah.
work in a
So when they
situation.
talk to me
How
on
can you
Facebook,
work?
I'll be like, oh my God. And then few doctors have told me, we can't do anything because once baby is born, the baby goes to pediatrician. The lady comes whenever she has issues. And when she comes also, she comes only for 8 to 10 days वाला post delivery वाला जो time होता है ना 8 to 10 days, तब तक तो क्या पता चलता है यार कि आपको क्या problem है. So there is
I'm
no
so sorry to
follow-up.
interrupt. I'm so sorry to interrupt. This session is going on so well. Actually, the last
Yeah,
few minutes have been so
it's
interesting
like,
and engaging.
yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we are at the end of our time, so we will have to end the session. So I just wanted to say those goodbye notes, and I think we need to have another session,
Yes,
Dr. Aditi,
Dr.
so
Aditi,
that
yes.
we can talk. Yeah, we
I'm
can
most
continue.
happy. I'm the happiest because nobody is listening to me. I'm daily in and out fighting with doctors. Okay, I get patient of a prolonged. Doctor says भेज दो. It's okay. चलता है. अरे क्यों भेज दो यार? I can treat and I know this is not a case. It is about the emotional health of a woman, यार. Mental health of a woman. Physical तो छोड़ दो. Physical we manage. I think we have been managing. Our mothers have been managing physically. What about emotional and mental status, which comes together, no?
Yeah. We need
Yeah,
another session
very
in
well
this.
said, Dr. Aditi. Like, we're ending the session on a really high and positive note and with a promise to come back again and talk more about it because I think that's the need of the hour. It's a necessity and we will definitely get back. Thank you so much for being with us and, like,
Yes.
taking your time and talking and educating all of us with so much of knowledge. It was a pleasure. Like,
And
yeah.
it was awesome.
Thank you so much. And both of you are so lovely. I just love your page. The way
Thank you.
you talk on your Instagram reels, I'm like, wow. I mean, it's like दिल की बात,
She has
It comes
become a
out.
pro. Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
let's
Thank you
name
so
this
much.
and let's name this, series one so that we can continue.
Yeah, I'll post it as part one so that we can continue in the part two. Thank you so much, Dr. Aditi. You are doing a great job yourself. Hats off to you. There are very few women out there who are actually trying to spread awareness in this area because it is neglected. It is the darker part of life after the child is born and it's kind of like the dark area. And thank you so much for doing everything. Continue doing what you're doing, and yeah, let's meet again soon. Thank
Yes.
you.
And thank you everyone for
Thank
joining.
you. Thank you, Vidya, for coordinating and scheduling, rescheduling times and everything.
No, my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you everyone for
Thanks.
joining. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the audience to join. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.